Hello, day 4 of the Fall Flirt Challenge. It's fall, you guys. I'm like, is it really when I say that? I'm in Austin now, which it doesn't totally feel like fall here. It's like 90 degrees out. And hello, everyone hopping on. Comment in the box. I don't know what it looks like for you, but comment where you are in the world. And today is the last day of the Fall Flirt Challenge. And I made it the stretchiest. So I made it the most challenging because we're building up on top of everything always. And if you didn't already read the email, which I'm assuming you did, but if not, let's just run through today's challenge. So you are going to get dolled up. You're going to get dressed up. I do mind touch my hair. It's all wet from the shower. You're going to put on whatever makes you feel beautiful. And you are going to wear lipstick. You're going to have fun playing in the beauty. And this relates to actually the goddess Aphrodite. She is all about beauty, right? Internally and externally. But the unhealthy side of our Aphrodite would be only the external beauty, right? And hello, everyone hopping on. Comment where you are in the world, please. I'm so curious. And for the longest time, you guys, I used to actually shun this for some odd reason. Like I would say, oh, like, I don't want to spend too much time on external beauty because it's the internal beauty that matters, right? Which of course, like when you're internally kind, soft, at peace, like it radiates and you are vibrant. But then I was neglecting the external beauty because I had a odd relationship with it. So I studied the goddess Aphrodite and it helped me a lot. So I'm planting that seed if you're curious. And so you get to do it and feel good about it, right? You can put earrings on, heels, like whatever has you feel like extra. Like I want you to be extra today. Okay. And here comes Chelsea. Hey girl.
Hi, sorry about that. My silly Wi-Fi.
We gotta get you some new Wi-Fi.
I know, right? Hi. I'm using like an Ethernet cable and everything because it helps, but
yeah.
Is it retrograde?
Is it retrograde? I don't know. I said, welcome to the Fall Flirt Challenge. I go, it's fall. You guys, look, I got my eyebrows tinted, so they're extra dark for the next 2 days, and I'm like not used to it.
Perfect timing for a live stream.
I know. I went on it yesterday. I go, that wasn't very smart.
No, it still looks cute.
Okay.
At least they're not like twice as thick. You know how like some people do that.
Oh yeah.
Leave it on there or whatever.
Yeah, I was supposed to wait 24 hours to shower, you guys, but I'm like, I'm not waiting 24 hours on this morning. On the shower this morning, I was like,
You're cute. But yeah, it'll be more natural in a few days, huh?
Yes. Everyone hopping on to comment in the box where you are in the world. And I was sharing with them today's challenge. So getting dolled up. And then you're also going to do a walk, right? You're going to do a walk in a sense that's abnormal for you. Like I want you to push your boundary of your feminine flow, right? So like and there's so much that can surface in doing this, which is beautiful because that's what we want. Mm-hmm. But inviting yourself to like, hey, Emily from Puerto Rico. Hi, honey. Welcome. Beautiful. There's so much that's available to you as you start to express and play and move in different areas than maybe how you didn't move before. So you're going to get dolled up and then you can practice it at home, but then also we want you to be doing it in public. So say you're just walking to your car from work or you're walking to the grocery store, like you're going to sway those hips more. You're just going to freaking like you're on a runway, like whatever feels good for you and out of the norm. And is like, wow, this is bringing me to life because this might draw attention, you know? I know that I went through that where I was like, oh my gosh, like, it's not safe to draw attention, right? Like that can sometimes come up for women in this part. And it's like, whoa. So it's also, and then trusting yourself as well. And know that as we're putting you out there, there can be any blocks that have been already in the space are going to be amplified, right? So the next part of the challenge, and Chelsea and I will talk about that more. Hi, Maria. Maria's coming to the Brave Live experience. Wow! So, and you guys are Fall Flirt Challengers. You got that Fall Flirt Challenge is your half off discount code for our Brave Live experience. And you also get to bring a friend for free. what? Because we know you're so committed to your love life because you're doing this challenge. That expires this Friday. So grab your ticket. So you're also going to, I'll put the link in here for you guys, and then it's a Flirt challenge. Okay, so you're also going to you're going to write your number on a piece of paper, and you're going to find a guy, right? He does not have to be Chris Hemsworth, and he can be Chris Hemsworth. Like if you see a guy who you're like, oh my gosh, that's like kind of maybe you like feel like he's out of your league, or you're like no, or like you know like you're like oh anything that like still you give that guy your number, or it could be a guy that literally looks like a 5 out of a 10, because you never know when you are on a first date how attractive someone can become because of who they be and how they show up and how you treat me. I've dated guys where I'm like, if I saw them on Bumble and Hinge, I would have not swiped. But like how they showed up and like their confidence and like who they were, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, and how attentive they were. So no excuses to not give your number out. And then if for some reason, if I know we had some lady post in the chats or the Facebook group saying she's sick and she couldn't. So then my invitation for you, if you're at home, is making a dating profile, and I want you to message 10 guys and say, I would love to go out with a man like you. So that's 10. Okay. But all my people who are already going to the grocery store, who are already out and about, like you get to give your number to a guy in person. Don't sell out on yourself. So that's the challenge for today. If you're nervous, give us a 4. Give us a 4 in the comment box if you're nervous. So I want to dive into first talking about our magnetism as women and how it opens up when we start to play, and how that's going to support us in our dating life. And I actually want to hand it to Chelsea because I know that this is her jam.
It is. I'm just making a quick note because I'm like receiving something I want to share later when we talk about like fear coming up.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny. Okay. Yes. So I went away. I love this topic, and I think that one way that you can kind of get out of your like fears around this would be to like dance alone in your house, right? Get into your body and shake it off, and any ways that you can tap into like pleasure in your body. So dance is one of those ways for me, but any ways that you can like come into a state of joy and pleasure in your own skin is like one of the most magnetic things you can do. And typically a little bit, kind of like a good warm up to what Rebecca's asking you guys to do. Is there anything in particular? I feel like I could go all over the place, but anything in particular you want me to speak into on this?
I think what makes a woman magnetic?
Yes. So when you are in a state of being like turned on, right? So that doesn't necessarily mean sexually turned on, but like lit up from the inside out. So the easiest way there is to, I love how you said the word play, like being playful, being in a state of pleasure in your body, right? So those rituals that like those cliche kind of rituals you do before a date, like taking a bubble bath, like they sound so silly, but like they're so powerful, right? And why are they powerful? Well, they're getting you out of your head and into your body. They're getting you into a state of receiving. It's getting you into a state of pleasure. So all of these things are gateways into our feminine magnetism. And also you can think of it as like when you're in your heart versus in your head. Right? So like Rebecca, you're all about that. So anytime your presence is more in your body or in your heart versus thinking and headspace and being analytical and intellectual, you're actually in your feminine magnetism. And anytime you're focused on how you feel, you're also in your feminine. So yeah, what else do you want me to have? So much that I could say all over the place.
This was also why, you guys, I think you saw I would post it on Instagram dancing a lot, and I started videoing myself, and I would notice it was so obvious when I was in my head versus in my body. And that's where recording helped me so much. I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm still here. Like, and then it would take me sometimes 5 minutes, sometimes 30 minutes. Sometimes I wouldn't get there at all to actually come into my body and like really come there. And it was emotional sometimes. And we could do a whole we should do a challenge on this in particular, like just this. So, but our magnetism, I like how Chelsea said, it's like we're lit up from the inside out, and knowing that like that lightness and that joy and that excitement and play and enchantment, you have the power to source that, right? It's infinite, and you tap into it, and then you live your life that way. And here's the thing, you guys all showing up to attract a partner, you think you want that, and you will have that, but what you really want is this.
Ooh.
Right? I like, that's the truth, right? So when we come here to this beautiful planet to experience life, and it's like when we naturally want to experience it as if it's heaven on earth. So that's a state, and that's a way of being and thinking and feeling that you can access and embody. And then when you're there and you choose to live there, it's like you actually don't want anything to change. You're so lit up and happy about your life, and that's when you are magnetic to multiple quality men will court you. I see this happen all the time, and then you're like, let me pick my pick, you know. But you fall in love with the one who's right for you. Go ahead, babe.
Yes. Yeah, I have like so much content on this. So listening to you talk, I'm like, oh yeah, this and this and this and this. I love everything that you said. And I always tell my clients, like, especially kind of going off of what we talked about yesterday, like surrendering the how, or the day before. It's like, in response to that, I say, you like the how will fall into place when you're living your best life. Like, so all the things that you maybe feel like, oh, I'll be happy when I have the guy, right? And oh, I'll do this when I'm in a relationship, when I have that partnership. What we really have to stop doing that. And a lot of us do that in every area, right? Like, when I have this, then I'll feel this, right? Yeah. So I love that you're speaking into that. So focusing on like living your best life now in every way that you possibly can. So notice, and maybe doing some journaling on this of like, what am I subconsciously like holding out on myself until I have the guy, or until I'm no longer single? It's like the how unlocks and opens up when you, instead of waiting for your circumstances to change, you decide to live your best life now. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You decide to be like your joyful, happy, like pleasure-filled self. And it's so easy to wait until you have a guy to do that, but that's actually creating kind of a codependency on him in a way.
Yes.
So you're like, oh, now I can be in my pleasure. Now I can be turned on in my life. Now I can be happy and free and feel confident and all these things. It's like, that's not going to be what you really want. And that's not going to lead you to the kind of relationship you want. This will. And like, I always like to mention my story, because how I met my husband was like one of the coolest experiences of my entire life, like regardless of even meeting him. Like I still think back to where I put myself, and like it was in the south of France, and I was on this adventure, and it's just one of the best memories of my life. And like the cherry on top was like, oh yeah, I met my husband there. I love to use that as an example, right? I wasn't like, I'm gonna go here and look for him, right? I was like, I like, my joy is guiding me to do this thing. So like, what is your joy guiding you to do that maybe you haven't been prioritizing? Or what is that playful side of you guiding you to do? Or even like your sensual self, right? Like, how are you disconnecting from that when you're single, but then like only being able to access that through another person? There's so many ways that you can kind of like romance yourself, right?
Yeah.
So all of those things turns on your magnetism and makes it just like, makes you irresistible to the right men for you.
Yes. So I love that. And so as you guys are going out there, my joy is guiding me to Austin. Yes, girl. Yes. We encourage you, Sarah, get your ticket and then come on here and celebrate with us during this live, so we can just freak out with you that you're coming to the live event. And we're going to answer your guys' questions. Don't worry.
Yeah, don't worry.
Today, when you guys are all going out and you're doing the challenge, like it goes with what Chelsea just said. Like, you're doing it to embody this woman who's like, I'm open and available. Like, that's what this is about. This isn't about hunting and finding your guy. Like, none of that. You're just helping him discover you. You're like, oh, you're cute. Like, you're going to get really good at this. I always tell this story because it cracks me up. When guys used to look at me or like trying to, check me out or be interested, I would literally like go like this. I would literally go like this, and then look away. And then I'd be like, why did I just do that?
That's so funny and sad. And
I would do that. And then I'd be like, why did I just do that? And it's so funny because I tell a story and I always have women who are like, oh my gosh, I do that too. It's invisible armor, right? It's invisible armor to keep us safe. And then after I started doing this work, I remember subconscious. After I started doing this work, I love telling the story. I got to so this is me going from not doing this type of stuff to doing this type of stuff, and then having the confidence to literally see an attractive guy, be like, oh, I'm going to go into that restaurant just because he's there, sit in front of him in his view and stare at him until he talks to me. Which if you would have told me that, like back when I would go like this, I'd be like, girl, you're crazy. Right? And then he was so sweet and he ended up being like, you want to have breakfast together? I'm like, sure. So we sat and had breakfast together and I dated him for a bit and he was super cool and fun and awesome. And I got to like see life through his eyes. It wasn't going to work out with him because he's religious. I'm not. So I was like, meh, it's not going to work. At least I don't choose to have an interfaith marriage or, a relationship. Some people do, and that's fine. So anyways, I share that with you because you can become that woman. And the way to get from not showing up and being approachable and available and putting yourself out there to being the magnetic woman who's like, I see someone attractive, like I'm going to put it at his feet, like let him know like I'm interested. You know what I mean? Is literally just those victory moments of pushing through the fears that try to hold you back in the armors, because that's just keeping you in an old paradigm, an old timeline. Like we're done with that. Now you are the woman who's open, available, and approachable. And by you going out and you giving your number today, you are shedding so many layers and shattering so much in the unseen. You have no idea. Because I have no idea either, because we can't consciously, our mind can't comprehend it, because the quantum model of reality and like the way our world works is beyond what this can fully grasp. Right. So notice, because when you are literally upgrading into that version of yourself and into that timeline, like, okay, like this is who I am now. Right. So
I want to ask or if it's the right time you think to talk about just like, I mean, if I was sent on this challenge now, I would have a lot of stuff coming up.
Yeah.
And so I feel like if that's you, if like the fear of rejection, if you feel like you're someone who takes things personally, like that's been like, I'm a work in progress with that. It just ended, or went away. Yeah, we're not taking things personally has been my personal work that I had to really work on. So what am I making this mean about me? If my worst fear is that this guy's going to be like, no thanks. And you feel like your soul's going to be crushed and you're going to implode on yourself. Like that's like how I was or am in that kind of scenario. It's like, okay, I'm clearly taking this personal, right? What if this man's response had nothing to do with me? Because that's the truth. And so I think that's like the positive kind of armor that you get to go into this with, is recognizing that everything that you get back is really about them, right? And I love how you're speaking into like, I'm the woman who is magnetic and confident. Well, you're also the woman who is so confident that she doesn't crumble when someone says no thank you or like no, I'm not interested, right? So that's like you can back yourself with that energy and know that you don't need external validation of your beauty, of your worth. And so I feel like just speaking into that for a minute felt relevant, because I think this is often why we don't do this thing, is because we're afraid of the result we're going to get.
Yeah.
She just wrote Chelsea. Do you relate? Yeah. So curious if you had anything to add to that, but.
Absolutely. I think I was afraid of coming off desperate. That was my fear. I was like, my ego was like, I don't want to look desperate. Like, I don't want these guys to think like, and it's so funny because I actually watch some of my single friends now act like this. And I'm like, girl, you got to shift or you're going to stay single. Like, it doesn't, like it's not attractive. And a man's not, like, men already have a fear of rejection. You know what I mean? It's this, so knowing that, like, literally men already have a fear of rejection. So if we're not saying, hey, like, I'm approachable and available, I'm warm, like, you can talk to me, like, they're not going to approach you, So, and sometimes people have a fear of looking, like slutty, or they have a fear of looking, like, and a lot of times with that, or ditzy. And I can hit, like, there's so many different archetypes and then challenge it, or challenges that are illusions that can hold them back from breaking through and embodying this like feminine fairy, you know? And feminine fairy, I've never said that.
So you.
Aw. You call me, she calls me the raunchy fairy angel, or what do you call me?
Did I call you?
You're like a raunchy fairy.
I do remember that coming out one time and me being like, I feel like that adequately describes you.
My whole family is so raunchy, you guys.
That's like the other side of Rebecca that, like, I don't know if you show that online as much. You do a little.
I talk about nipple hairs here and there, but
you know.
Yeah. So I had, for example, my friend who's like a super C-suite, like high paid CFO, or no, CMO, whatever. And she was like, I was like, what's stopping you? And I like was asking her a bunch of questions. And the thing was, she had so much judgment towards girls who were flirty, that all of her judgment and projections on that girl being X, Y, and Z had her not want to do it. I'm like, girl, those are all your projections. Like, you can still be smart and adequate and intelligent and step into that and play with it. It was her own shame with her own feminine playfulness. And I like think about when you do, and as you do access this part of you, like, it's going to light up your whole life. Like, it's going to light up your whole life. And that's what Chelsea and I mean when we say, like, that's what you're really here for. Like, and the man's like, he's so excited to jump on the roller coaster. It can be that too, on the ride with you, because you're already there and you're like, this is amazing. And then you're like, okay, let me see what this experience is like with you. And so if you guys have any questions too about this, which I want to start to get into some questions as well. Maria said, I've noticed that when I see someone attractive, I tend to avoid eye contact. Okay. I hear you. And what I just want to share, which will be so powerful, is when we avoid eye contact with the person we're talking to them, it's actually our trauma, right? And you can notice that. And this is actually great for me to mention, you guys, as you go out on dates, because if a guy has a hard time looking at you, it's his own stuff, right? Intimacy stuff. So, and I'm assuming, Maria, you want to be seen, right? You want to be connected to, you want to experience connection and intimacy and feeling at home. So I love that you own this and that you recognize this. And I love that you're also coming to the Brave Life experience, because as you break through this, girl, like, everything that you desire in partnership will open up and come to you. You're going to be attracted to the man who's your dream man, because if we're avoiding that intimacy and we're avoiding that depth, we're also avoiding the love that we actually, in the exchange, that we naturally crave to experience.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And then there was another really good question right here that Sarah was asking, how do we stay like in our magnetism when a man shows up? You want to speak into that?
How do we stay there when the man shows up? I think there was a similar question as to, like, what to do if you start to feel insecure and nervous when you're with them. So I have two parts to this answer. On one hand, I think being vulnerable and honest about, like, can I be totally honest with you right now? Like, I'm feeling really nervous, like, there's ways that you can just, like, what if you surrendered to your experience in that moment rather than trying to control it and put on an image that you're this, like, impenetrable, too cool for school, like, person. So a part of your feminine magnetism is your vulnerability and your rawness. So I wanted to speak into that for a moment. But another thing is, I think the more, like, when you get into the groove of just going on a lot of dates, it's just that first one of those first few that, like, we put so much emphasis on, and we put so much pressure on ourselves, and we're so nervous, and it's all okay. Like, every emotion is okay. But I think once you get into the flow of it, it starts to feel easier, and you're able to just, like, be present. And just a simple, basic way to get out of your head and into your body is just to, like, start noticing, like, bring your attention to the soles of your feet, and, like, just bring your attention to your breath. It are quick, easy ways you can go from, like, anxious in your head to in your body. So I guess that was a 3-part answer. But yeah, I think that it's so endearing to just be honest about, like, I'm, like, you kind of make me nervous. Like, that's so flirty and cheeky and cute to say, you know, like
Yeah.
that feels authentic. That's maybe more my vibe. But I think another thing that was coming through too, when you were speaking into the woman who's like the CFO, is creating, like, think about what kind of archetype of the feminine your essence is, right? So
Yeah.
maybe you're like more graceful, or maybe you're more like wild, or maybe you're more sensual, and just like finding what your essence is. You don't have to look like any other woman, right? You get
Yeah.
to see what
So good.
your freedom and your self-expression looks like. And so I always love having clients make like a Pinterest board of like the women that you look up to, or like the icons that you feel like have that essence, and
Yeah.
I don't know, like start to act as if, right? Until that feels natural.
I feel like I'm the wild hippie because in my dream world, I'm always barefoot and eating with my hands.
Yeah, you're the wild hippie. I love it.
Flawless. Oh, and Sarah, I saw that you mentioned that you messaged me on Instagram. I'm actually not checking my Instagram messages right now. So you can email me, Rebecca@thebravelady.com. You can email me and I will get back to you and support you. Oh, I didn't mean to click that. Oh, and one thing I want to say about the fear of, losing your magnetism when he shows up or whatever. I'm always challenging myself, like I challenge you guys, and like I'll challenge you at the Brave Live experience, because I know that like in that moment, like when I open up and step into something that usually I wouldn't do, like there's a whole new world and a whole new me that I access and can create and just evolve. And what helps me so much is because sometimes I actually just did this yesterday where I was like, okay, like I was sending, because I had an opportunity come my way that I was like, like actually I wouldn't want to do it that way, but I would do it this way. And it was such a big opportunity that I was like, but I knew that doing it their way wasn't in alignment. I knew that doing it's actually me facilitating out in the world challenges, which is what I'm so good at. And I know how powerful it is. And they had asked me to run a program. Right. And I'm like, that's Chelsea's jam. Chelsea's so good at that. Chelsea loves that, So, I remember I was like, okay, like, and I was kind of I was nervous to like stand in that. And first, because it's like, massive audience. So I literally in that moment, I go, you know what? I have nothing to lose. Like I have nothing to lose. And so when you're with a man and you're attracted to him and you start to like get some fear come up, like, remember ladies, like you literally have nothing to lose. Nothing of real value can ever be taken or lost. How beautiful.
Love that quote. Oh my gosh.
Right? Nothing can. Yeah. So I'm just so excited for you guys to take on today's challenge and hear us in your ear being like, you've got this, girl. Like, you've got this, you've got this, you've got this. Because I facilitate these often. And, usually right before it's like, even like before Chelsea and I put on the last Brave Live, we're like, blah, 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 right?
Move the energy. Yeah, move the energy. Move it through your body. That's another feminine embodied practice. Like, don't try to like think your way out of anxiety. Like, express it, shake, dance, scream, like cry. Like,
Vivian's on here. Hi, Vivian. Vivian's here. Yes, moving it, right? Expressing it, because then we're moving it through the body. So so know that the resistance and the conversations and the things that may come up, like even when we did Out in the World challenge with 5 of my friends, one of them was Aaron Dowdy. I think you guys might know him. I know some of you guys follow me from knowing him. And you could see this on our story. His challenge was he had to go around the grocery store and help people and enroll people in helping him find his purple ferret because he lost it, right? Obviously, there's no purple ferret, but I have videos of him and he's stalling because he's nervous, right? He's so nervous. So he's literally like walking around the grocery store, not doing it. Like, and I'm like, are you going to do it? And he's like, all this stuff was coming up, right? He was like stalling. This is like an extra challenge, right? This is like super stretchy. And I know what you guys are doing. It can feel super stretchy as well. Each challenge hits upon different fears that are holding you back, right? That one's probably like a fear of looking crazy, like when really we want to be outrageous and crazy sometimes, but we don't because we feel like we need to fit in. If we don't fit in, we're going to die. You know what I mean? Like this is all such old reptilian brain stuff. So with that being said, any other questions, please ask us. Sarah said, I've talked over the phone with 2 amazing guys, but got in my head at the end and never heard back. You want to speak into that?
Sure. I was like, are you thinking or are you looking at me? I like to say, like, you can't say the wrong thing to the right guy. Like,
Yeah.
I think that there's so much pressure we put on ourselves, especially if you're drawn to work like this, where she says email again, question mark. Maybe you can speak to that part. Your email. I thought she was, okay, sorry. I thought she was saying, like, should I email them? I'm like, I wonder what Rebecca's going to say.
Stalk them on LinkedIn. I made that mistake. They can see when you stalk them. I literally had this guy. We met these guys, and then they were like, "Oh, they're so." And this was wet. This was like years ago when LinkedIn first came out, whatever. And then they're like, "Oh," they messaged me. They're like, "How did we?" We're like, "Oh, you stalked it. You like stalking me, huh?" We're like,
"Oh my god, I would be mortified."
I was.
So rough. Oh my god, that's so funny. That's so funny. That should come with a warning when you join. Like, everyone can see your activity. I've never used it. Anyways, what I was saying is, yeah, I think going into this, like, yes, what's of true value can never be lost. I love that. And kind of on that same breath, like, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. Take the pressure off. Like, know that you're doing the best that you can. You're gonna follow what we're teaching you as best as you can. But this isn't about being in like this hyper state of control over everything you do and everything you say. It's actually gonna reverse your efforts to be magnetism when you do that, which is the ironic part. And I'm not saying this is exactly what's going on for you, but I'm speaking into it because I see it happen so often. The women especially called to like studying the feminine energy. I had this client recently say, like, my fear is that I'm doing feminine energy wrong. I'm just like, okay, like, thank you for giving words to what everyone is thinking. Yeah. So I just want to speak into that and just have you bring that, like, if you were in your playful, lighthearted feminine energy, how would you coach yourself with that question, right? Yeah. Like, what would your feedback for yourself be? It's never too late to like get back into alignment. Like, even if you said the wrong thing to the right guy, it's like it can't. She says, "LOL." Mm-hmm. Your destiny can't miss you is another thing I like to say. So you have to go into it with that mindset and that inner security. You know, be playful about it and forgive yourself and keep going. You know. Exactly.
That's the part, is accepting what is. And there's going to be plenty other moments where you get into your head and you're like, whoa, like we all do it. And then it's like, how do I come back? And you're going to see your partner do it. You're going to see the guys you date do it. You're going to be nervous to the guys. Like, it's just the part. It's like, it's so fun too.
Yeah.
Like, enjoy it, you know? Corella said that she went out with a guy or hung out with a guy last week. She's attracted to him, but she doesn't know what to do next, obviously. Well, there's nothing to do, girlfriend, other than continue to obviously be yourself and show that you're attracted to him and trust that the right man will court you and continue to court you and want to see you.
Love it. Yeah.
To make it simple for you. Mm-hmm. And yes, no chasing men, Sarah. And we also are going to announce the Flirt Challenge winner from yesterday. And yeah, so continue to with these. So this is why I also say it's powerful to date multiple men, and dating doesn't mean sleeping with them. Like, before I got into my last relationship, you guys, I was dating 4 men. And I was having so much fun. And that's when my partner at the time was like, oh my, like it wasn't like I was doing it as like a manipulation. It was like it was just natural because I was in the magnetism of graciously receiving, and these men were courting me, and it was so fun. And there was no, like, I wasn't sleeping with them, you know, it was like I was getting to know them over coffee or over dinner. And it was such a fun time. It was so fun, you know, but this was also after doing these challenges and doing stuff like this, it's like, when you put yourself out there and you show up and you play in that magnetism, remember, you guys are also going to walk that and play in that like playfulness today. And you like push that edge. You also, your confidence goes up because you didn't let a fear hold you back, and you naturally are like, wow, good job. Like it naturally, this will increase your confidence 1,000,000,000%, mm-hmm. Which is why at the Brave Life experience, I'm putting you guys into scenarios that it forces you to become a more confident woman, because that's what I want for you. Because I know first of all, your confidence is natural. We're just removing the shit that got in the way over years. We're just dissolving that. We're like burning that in the fire. We're like that. No, like you get to live a life of freedom and authenticity and power and owning your voice and soft and receiving, right? And whatever that is for you, is what we are doing at the Brave Live experience as well. So if you want to continue to be stretched by me and by Chelsea, then I highly recommend you get your ticket, because you also get that 50% off. So that code is Flirt Challenge. That ends Friday, and you can bring a best friend. So that's just for you guys. I'm not going to do any other buy one get one free. This is for you guys. So after Friday, you will not see that deal. You will not see that again. Where you get one free. So you get to bring a best friend. We had so many people who we had one girl who brought her friend, and her friend was like, she told us, she's like, my friend will not stop thanking me for bringing her. This changed her life. So know that you also get
to tell that story. I just like, I go back and I think of that woman and I start to cry because it's so beautiful watching her open up. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So today you're challenging yourself, and we invite you to continue to challenge yourself because we know that there's so much gold inside of you that just naturally wants to come out, which is why we put on these experiences, which is why it's like literally the universe is like, we're ready. Come on. So, and Sarah says graciously receiving, and who do I like online? So what do you mean, who do I like online? And Corella said,
who do you like online?
And hello, everyone else hopping on. We're so happy to have you here. We're talking about the Out in the World challenge you guys are doing today, which is giving your number to a man. And if you have any questions around it, concerns, fears, things coming up, talk to us. I know everyone should be somewhat nervous. Like even if I was to go and do this, and I've done it before, nerves would come up, right? And so I share that because it's not like, it's okay if whatever's surfacing for you, like we anticipate that. That's why this is a challenge. Do not go to bed tonight without having this done. Don't go to be like, there's no one at the store. Okay, go to another one. But actually there probably is someone at the store. You don't need to be driving around everywhere today. Like go to a cafe, even a big fear that comes up too is what if he's taken? Okay, then trust that he will tell you that. And trust that when he does, be like, okay, like cool. What evidence of a respectful man who's great to his woman? You know what I mean? And also a big part of this, you guys I love this topic. In doing this challenge and the challenges that I'm going to give you at the Brave Life experience, you are dropping control. You have to, because here's the thing. You are going into the unknown, and the unknown is not predictable. It's not predictable. So you have no idea how people are going to respond to you. What? And so for you, and this is where massive amounts of self-trust come in, because you're like, whoa, they could say anything. Or it was something like, I don't know. And I just get to trust myself in that moment. So you're increasing your level of trust like 10 million fold. And so because the control lives in the known, right? It's that unknown that's when you start flirting, when you start swinging your hips, when you start winking at the guy you like, or whatever it is, where you're starting this exchange with this person who you don't know, like it's not predictable. So therefore it's unpredictable. Therefore you're dropping control, which is super powerful. So I want to mention that piece because I know that control is the opposite of intimacy. And it's also what keeps you stuck in the known, which is not where your man is. So
everyone re-listen to that 60 seconds. Bonus homework.
And same with the Brave Life experience. When you guys come, you don't really know what you're fully walking into, right? You get to trust Chelsea and I, and you get to trust yourself. It's and I promise you're gonna be like, this was the best decision I ever made. So
yeah, it goes back to what we were talking about. I forget if it was the first day or the second day, but about surrender, right? And how our ego is going to resist what we're talking about so much. It's going to keep you kicking and screaming, but you will have never felt so alive on the other side of that. And it just reminds me of the conversation we were having about deep down, like that feminine essence craves what you're going to do today, craves being in the unknown, craves letting go of control. And so I always love to tell my ladies, like, you can go be in control, or be in that like really intense masculine energy in every other area. Let your love life be a vacation. What if your dating and love life was like a vacation from having to have it all together all the time? What if you just let yourself be free here? Right? So I don't know if that resonates with anyone here, but I thought that was funny.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah, it's like, let this be like the vacation from having to like be in such hyper control. Like
Yeah.
type A, all the things, you know?
Yes. And I love that Chelsea mentioned dancing. I think that'd be great for everyone to do. So we'll do it over like a cap of everything. And then we'll give more Brave Live details, and then we'll announce the winner from yesterday's challenge. If you guys have any questions as we're sharing, please do. So, or please ask. We're here to support you. That's why we do these lives. Challenge today, you are going to get dressed up. You're going to put lipstick on. If you want to wear heels, whatever makes you feel beautiful, you're going to doll yourself up. And just because you would do it for you. And then you're going to, if you want to dance, then dance, play a good song, dance in your house, like let yourself be free. Sarah said she sent an email. Cool. Thank you, Sarah. And then you are going to also practice walking with like openness and like just own it, like own it, own it, right? Notice if you like crouch down, or like I watch myself even in the gym where I'm like, whoa, like, and then I will think about it. I'm like, I'm doing this because it feels safer when actually like it, and also because I need to strengthen my upper back. My lower back, like my upper back is weak. So like it naturally, so I like have to strengthen it. Side note. But notice how sometimes you'll notice that you guys are all powerful, and a lot of people and bright and beautiful. And whenever you dim that, or you don't show up in that playfulness, there's also can be fears of like, well, it's dangerous to show my power. It's dangerous to show my light.
That.
Yeah.
Really had to work through that.
Yeah.
That can be ancestral too.
Yeah. I think every single woman on here can relate to that. So thank you, Chelsea, so much for that. And we live in it. I think we're all being called to break through that as well for behind us and for in front of us. So there's an opportunity right here, and it's safe. It's safe to be powerful. Chelsea's heard me cry about this. I'm like, she's like heard me get upset over this, and it's like so beautiful to own your power, to own your light, and to practice that today. That's our invitation. That's what we want for you guys. And the flirtiness. So if you tend to be rigid and closed off and contracted, and like play with like literally feeling into your pelvic floor, really feeling and like moving and swaying, like play a song and get into that space today. Okay. And then as you're out in public, when you're walking to your car, when you're in the grocery store, like just be extra. Okay. Even if you want to like throw a little dance move, like, or maybe you just want to like sway your hips, whatever that is, we're wanting you to, embody your feminine playfulness. And then you're going to, when you see a guy, you're going to already have your number written down, and you're going to give it to him and say, I would love to go out with a guy like you. I'm just going to give it to him. And I've had women who meet their men from this challenge, and they're still with their men today. So just that's like a possibility. And it doesn't even matter if that happens, because the right guy is going to show up at the right moment for you as you continue to do this work and you continue to be open and approachable and available. It can't not happen. Okay.
Remember what you have control over and what you don't. This is the stuff you have control over or command over. So seize the moment.
Seize the moment. Yes. And so that's the recap. If you have any questions on that, please ask. And then the other two announcements. One, the Brave Live experience is coming up December 2nd through the 5th in Austin with Chelsea and I in person. We will be sitting with you in person, supporting you in removing any of these fears, any of these blocks around. It could be communication, it could be intimacy, it could be eye contact, it can be flirting, it could be whatever that is for you. So that way you are open and available to and magnetic to an incredible, loving partnership where you're receiving and giving deep love. You're going to be shedding and stepping into. So you're going to be also paired up into groups and you're going to go out and you'll do out in the world challenges, but you'll do multiple and you'll be with your sisters. You'll be dressed up. Like you're just going to be on fire. You're going to have so many laughs. Like it's literally, you're just going to, it's hard to put it into words because you have to come and you have to experience it.
Yeah.
So I'm offering you guys, because you're showing up and you're committed to your love life, half off a ticket. Like half off a ticket. And then you also get to bring a friend for free. And I'm not doing any other bring a friend for free opportunities. So it's just for you guys for being in the Flirt Challenge. So that promo code is Flirt Challenge. And what you do is you go to the braveliveexperience.com and you type in the code Flirt Challenge at checkout. And then that will give you half off your ticket. And then with that code, we'll know that you also get to bring someone for free, a friend, a best friend. You get to surprise someone and change her life. And you connect over it. So if you have any questions about that, please ask. It expires Friday. So get your ticket today. Go in the Facebook group and say you got it. Celebrate with us. We cannot wait to meet you in person. Don't put this off. That's why I always say, like, don't put this off. Don't wait. Like do it this winter or fall, like show up for yourself in this powerful way. You will not regret it. You will be so proud of yourself. Imagine what it will feel like on the other side of all the challenges that you're going to break through, all the things you're going to move through. Like imagine that version of you. Like you're doing this for her. She's calling you. She's literally on the other side. She's like, come on, girl. Come on, Sarah. Come on. Like she's like she's right there. Just ready. So imagine what life is like being her and what you get to experience. There is no way I would have the opportunities, the abundance and the confidence and all the things I have in my life. Did I not do stuff like this?
Mm-hmm.
So
Same.
There's so much that we can learn and we can study and we can read, but applying it is where you embody it and where your life changes, because you're being who you be shifts. So your entire reality and experience shifts because you literally enter into another timeline and you collapse time as well. So that's why we love the in-person experience, because we are giving you so many opportunities. Look at Sarah bought a ticket. Congratulations.
Hallelujah.
You amazing. So I have the chills right now.
Oh, good job. Oh my gosh.
She says, I cannot wait. I have full body goosebumps. I have angel bumps.
Yeah.
All over my legs.
I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Wow.
And we're so proud of you because there was also clearly some questions and things, and you just committed, and it's so beautiful. And imagine, like, it makes us both so emotional because you guys, we do this work because we love it. Like there's no greater gift than being able to help you get your voice back, right? To help you own your power. It makes me so emotional. I'm like so excited for you, Sarah, too, to help you play. Like maybe it's playing more. And it's like we had women that came to our last event, and we had some men come in and do an experience. And one of the women said, she was like, or two of them, and they were in their 40s, some maybe 30s and 40s, 50s. I don't think 50s. No, not 50s. They were like, I'd never seen a man cry. And they were hysterical, you guys. They're like, I've never seen the vulnerability of the masculine. And it literally broke my heart to hear that. I'm like, you're like what, early 40s, and you went your whole life like not having that intimacy. Like I couldn't fathom that, and so I know I feel like someone listening needed to hear that, but like the level of intimacy and support and like just that's going to open up for you and power and connection and feeling at home with your partner. Like that's what you guys are creating through this experience, and it could be also that you're learning to set boundaries, like powerful boundaries. So relationships feel authentic and not suffocating. Because not setting boundaries is like the worst. It's like relationships, and being inauthentic and not being able to express your desires is also the worst. Chelsea knows I went through that, So she said, yes, girl. And Maria says, yay, Maria's celebrating you.
Everyone else is on the edge. Like, let Maria's and Sarah's like
Yeah.
bravery, like tip you over the edge, right? Encourage. Like every time another woman like crosses that line, she's pulling with her the other women that are like on the edge. So
Yeah.
thank you all for like leading by example. And for anyone else in the space who's like feeling on the edge, just know that like we're all standing on the other side, like with like holding hands, like here to catch you, right? Like do a trust fall into like this whole group of women, like me and Rebecca and every woman who's going to be at this event, like where they're the unconditional love and support is going to be just off the charts in comparison to what I feel like anyone has ever experienced. I
Yeah.
mean, that's the feedback we got. That's what I got to witness. And I know that this event is going to be the same. And so
Yeah.
just know that if you're feeling called and you have stuff coming up, like reach out, like Rebecca said, post in the Facebook group and let us support you and just feel even like our heartstrings. Like we might be not with you in person, but we are with you. And like
Yeah.
there are X amount of seats, right? There's limited spots to this event. There's
Yeah.
a spot for you if you're feeling called. Like there's a spot with your name on it. And it's that future version of you calling you. I love how you said that. And
Yeah.
to like trust that calling and let go of the rest.
Yes. And I know we only have 9 minutes left. Chelsea and I both have to be off, but I just got this thing that I think everyone would like. Will you, babe, just have us tap into that for a moment? Cause you're so good at this. Could be like a 2-minute guidance of the version of the women. So everyone who's going to go do the challenge today, like you guys are giving your numbers out. You're going to feel sexy. You're going to feel, oh, Sarah says she's crying. We love you, girl. We're so proud of you. We're so proud of you. And Maria said she talked to her best friend about last night and she's going to request the days off. That's so good. What's your best friend's name, Maria? Will you put her so we know? That's so awesome. And you get to experience with your best friend. But as you guys are doing this challenge today, you're beginning to step into that version, that woman who's magnetic and who's open and who's approachable and available and confident. And as you come into the Brave Life experience and you also do this challenges, right? That woman who's on the other side, who, like Chelsea said, is like, let's go. She's magnetic, confident, powerful, authentic, loving. Like we're opening every time we make a choice that scares us. We're like, it deepens our faith and our confidence in ourselves. So will you just drop us into Chelsea? Like, I would love this. Her name's Illy. Okay, cool. So, Bianca, you're gonna take it. Okay, try it. It's Flirt challenge. It might have to be cats.
I think it probably will be cats.
You try cats? Oh my gosh, Bianca. We're here holding you, celebrating you so much. Look at Bianca.
You get to go. Oh, Crystal says, "What's the code, love?" So she.
Okay, Crystal said, "What's the code, love?" Where? Oh, there you go. It should work. Let me check. Yeah, you guys get your tickets, and then Chelsea will walk us through this, and we'll tune into. Let me see. Flirt challenge apply. Yeah, it worked for me. Do all caps. See if that works. It says, did you do all caps? I think it needs to be. Make sure there's no space afterwards. Sometimes if you accidentally do a space before or afterwards, even check if it worked. Oh, but you should check if it worked because then it cuts the price in half. So this code expires Friday. I just checked it, braveliveexperience.com, and then you click checkout, and then let me see, get ticket now. Let's see here, make sure both the checkout pages are the same. For challenge, click apply. Oops, I spelled it wrong. Yeah, it works. Yeah, try it again, love. And then while they're trying that, which we're so excited for you guys, I'm so proud of you.
Seriously.
I'm so proud of you. I promise you, literally, you're going to be so proud of yourself too. Like in this moment, you should be. And then afterwards, you are going to be as well. We had every single person there was like, my best friend needs this. My aunt needs this. My sister needs this. Let's do this again. Like, I wish I could do this every weekend. Like,
oh my God.
And you guys have a main airport here. Like Sedona, we didn't have one. These women had to fly into Phoenix, drive 2 hours. Like this is way easier, you know? So let us, so you want to tap us into that version, Chelsea?
Yeah, like the empowered, alive, magnetic version of us, right?
Yeah, that's on the other that's on the other side of the Brave Life experience. That's like pulling them on the other side of today's challenge. That's like pulling them.
Perfect. So everybody close your eyes and just take a really nice, juicy, deep breath, receiving on the inhale, and surrendering and releasing any fears, tensions, insecurities on the exhale. And just do that like 2 more times. Just dropping in, coming home into the center of your being. And I want you to visualize this stage in front of you. And it's like you're at a theater or like a concert, and it's dark, and there's like a smog machine or a smoke machine, and you see this figure coming towards you. And it's this woman who's like catwalking towards you to the center of the stage. And you see that it's you. It's you after you do this week's challenge. It's you on the other side of the Brave Live experience. And as she like comes forth, you just see this like light all around her. There's this golden light, and there's like flames behind her. Like she's risen, right? And like risen from the ashes. And you look at her and you just see this confidence, and you see this like sexiness and this grace and this feminine power. And you can feel that there's like an audience witnessing her, and everyone's jaws are on the floor because of who this woman is. And her heart, you can just see that her shoulders are dropped and back, and her heart is just so open and like leading her forward, and everyone is just in awe of her. And now I want you to imagine that this is that version of you. This is you. I want you to feel yourself on that stage and feel yourself standing in your power, where you've never felt so tall and you've never felt so alive. Like every single cell is dripping with aliveness and magnetism and fire. And you just stand tall and in this graciousness where you effortlessly receive the attention of all these people. And it feels so good to be seen, and it feels so good to be admired. And you don't need that validation, but you receive that feedback from everyone around you. And you're just standing there knowing that you have every single thing you need inside of yourself. And you've never felt more beautiful. You've never felt more like yourself. And you never felt more seen. And you've never felt more ready to walk into that divine love partnership that you know you were born to have. And so just taking a deep breath into that and receiving any unique parts of that visualization that want to come through that maybe I didn't speak into. Like let that future version of yourself give you a message right now. What does she have to say to you? So now you're back in the audience and you're looking at her, and she says something to you. She points to you, and the spotlight goes on you in the audience, and she gives you a message. Receive that message. And thank that future version of yourself. She's not somewhere out there in a fantasy. She exists, and she's calling you forth, and she calls you up to the stage, and you become one on that stage. And now you are that woman, and you have everything you need to do the courageous, scary thing today, to finish this challenge and to go get your ticket. You have everything you need to complete that task at hand. And yeah, you have everything that you need. And just leaning into that strength of your future self that really is already here. It really is. It's not something you have to go like find. It's something that exists inside of you. It's just you. It's just the most empowered, whole, self-expressed version of you that is available to you right now. And so just gently releasing that visualization and coming back when you're ready. That was so fun. I'm like, let's like take.
That's beautiful. Oh, there you are.
Edit that and get that clip, and then everyone can re-listen to that.
Yeah, all the time. So, as you guys go out and you do the challenge today, like you can take what you just received in that moment with you, right? Like, okay, like I've got this, like, I'm not going to shy away, and I'm not going to, back down, and I'm not going to stay comfortable. And even as you guys, Bianca, Crystal, jumping into everyone who wants to jump into the Brave Live experience, like holding on to that. It's literally takes faith. It takes faith of like, okay, I trust myself, and I trust that what I'm wanting, I'm going to create and experience that. Mm-hmm. So we promise that. We know that. It's you trusting yourself and trusting us, and it's going to be powerful. We can't wait to meet you in person. Crystal and Bianca, we want to celebrate you. Did the code work for you guys? It sounds like you were having let us know that it worked and that you were able to get your ticket.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm gonna celebrate.
and then any other questions around the winner too. We want to announce the winner, which I'm so excited for you guys. The winner of yesterday's challenge is Alexandra Kumpf. I don't know if I said your last name right.
Oh my gosh, I know her. She was a past client of mine. Yay!
Oh, that's amazing. So you won the Manifest for Evolve Man course, which is a $2,000 value that you won for free. And so email support@thebravelady.com. I'll put it in the comments. And then she will tell the team that you won, and she'll send you access. Congratulations for winning.
Yay.
You posted every single day of the challenge. So that's what you won. And tomorrow, oh wait. Wow. Okay. Tomorrow we'll announce the winner for today. So make sure in order to win that you go in the Facebook group, that you post that you got your, I would say that you got your ticket, that too, but that you did today's challenge. And then that's how you enter to win for tomorrow's prize, which is the Unlock His Devotion course. That one's all about commitment. I also talk a lot in that course about what to do if a man tries to sleep with you early. There's like a lot of good bonuses in there. Bianca says, okay, yeah, girl, try it again. We'll celebrate you. Chelsea, I think you have to go.
Yeah, I do have to go, but if you want to stay and help them out.
Yeah, I can stay on.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Boo.
Okay, thanks for having me, you guys. I can't wait to see you at the event. And good job on this challenge. This is the last day of the challenge, correct?
Correct.
Yes. So I just want to celebrate every single one of you. This challenge, I always say, it's no joke. Like, this was such an amazing step forward in your journey to attracting that love relationship that you want. So I'm just so proud of you guys. High five. And I can't wait to see you at the live, or at the Brave Live.
Yeah.
Love you.
Love you. Thanks, hon. Okay, gang. Bianca, let me know. Of course, if it's not working, then I'll reach out to my team. It should work though. I just tested it. Will someone else try it too and make sure that it's working? And if you guys have any questions, then please. So the winner for yesterday was Alexandra. And the winner for the day before that was Monica. And the winner the day before that was not written down in here, but the winner, she got her guide, so she won that. Sarah said she missed it. So yeah, today was Alexandra. So how cool. I'm so proud of you. I'm doing that. I kind of have potty, so I'm doing like the potty dance. I'm really proud of you guys for today's challenge, because I know that coming into your sensuality or your playfulness can be a journey if you're not used to it. And I also know that giving your number to a guy can be a huge stretch for some of you. And so I want to validate the fears, the concerns, the conversations, the egos, I used to she says, congrats. I used to manifest either getting sick or crazy things happening to avoid doing the thing that scared me. So notice that can happen too. There's no circumstance that is bigger than you being able to do this today. So any story, any circumstance, I would say, you couldn't enroll me or convince me that something happened so that you couldn't go do this. It's just, you could throw anything at me, I'd be like, meh. Right? Because I'm standing for that version of you who is confident, who is approachable, who is open, who's available, who's trusting, who's magnetic. And any story that's ever stopped you from being that can kind of come up. And then sometimes we can justify certain things so we can stay over here when Chelsea and I are inviting you over here. Okay? So this is my continued encouragement that I'm giving you right now as you stretch yourself today. And I also know I'm going to stretch you like this at the Brave Live experience. And you can trust me to listen to you, to guide you, to give you a challenge that I know is going to change your life, that I know is going to unlock things in your heart that have been dying to be unlocked, to remove barriers and to remove chains so that you are open to intimacy. You're open to being seen. I know Maria's coming to the event and that's what she wants to break through. making eye contact. Like, imagine what it will feel like, you guys, to feel at home with a man who loves and adores you and is just so in love with the authentic you, and you can receive that and give that. And you allow yourself to be authentic, and you trust that the right man will fall in love with the authentic you, and you have full faith in that, and you experience that, and you get to hear Chelsea's amazing love story. She's been married for 6 years, and they're the sweetest together. You guys, they're so cute. He just, the way he looks at her, each and every single one of you is going to have that. So anything that's stopping you from experiencing that, or anything that's even stopping you from having certain maybe conversations in the work environment, right? Things that may be having you feel trapped. Like, do not be one of those women that goes the rest of your life holding back, not being honest, not being authentic, and feeling trapped or stuck in her life or in her dating life. Like, I don't want you to go another year from now, none of that, like not even another 2 months from now. Like, you get to be at the Brave Life Experience December 2nd through the 5th. And we're going to shake some things up, girl, and you're going to come out on fire. So for those of you that are on the fence, I'm standing for you to grab your ticket now and to come in here and to celebrate that you got your ticket so I can cheer you on. And you can look forward, like, it's going to feel so good too, because you're going to be able to look forward to it. And I know Sarah's excited. I know that Maria's excited, and you get half off. So literally that is going to go away Friday, and you get half off, buy one, get one free. So you also get to bring she's so excited. Yes. You also get to bring a best friend, which I'm not offering that again. So Friday that expires, I'm not offering bring another friend again. Or I'm sorry, I'm not offering that, where you get to like bring someone for free. So that's just for you guys. And you get to surprise a best friend. Like we mentioned earlier, literally everyone who brings their friend was like, thank you so much to their friend and also to us, because it changed their life. Like, the cool thing about a group dynamic and an in-person dynamic and the way that we do things, you're going to learn things about yourself that you would not learn going through a course, that you would not learn reading in a book, you would not even learn on a coaching call, because you're going to be like, oh my gosh, you're going to have so many ahas and breakthroughs and magic that's going to come through that would not come, that it just couldn't be facilitated or happen in a different setting, right? And the women that I and Chelsea attract are incredible. Like, they're so open-hearted and they're so ready. So if you have kind of like that sisterhood wound, which I know we all do, know that like you're not alone in that. And if you're coming and you're kind of like nervous, you're like, oh my gosh, like, but what if I can't relate to them? Or what if they don't like me? Or what if they're not like me? And that's like, I just want to squash that right now and know that like there's going to be someone in there that relates to exactly what you're thinking and feeling right now, and is so happy that they broke through it to show up at the experience. Like, we're literally going to be collapsing timelines because of the amount of transformation that happens in person. Like, you're literally like, I cannot wait to see your faces Sunday. You're going to be glowing. You're going to be glowing and so happy. Like, it's why I do this, you guys. Like, there's nothing else. Like, at the last experience, I kept telling the girls, there's nothing else I'd rather be doing right now. Like, there's nothing else I'd rather be doing right now. And how I feel so blessed, you guys. I feel so blessed I get to do this, but because of how magical and incredible it is, which is why right away I was like, I need to turn around and do another one. Like, the world needs this. Women are asking for it, you know? And so it's such an honor to be able to give you guys half off a ticket, because I don't want anything to like stand in the way between you and being able to have this transformation. So get your ticket, Bianca, Crystal, everyone listening. Like, if you have any questions, please ask me right now. Like, ask me. I'm here to support you. I know when I've made investments in myself, or there's always been some sort of like, sometimes it's like, oh, well, what, like this or that, or let me put it off, or blah, 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 or time, or, something. So I'm here to stand for you. Sarah says, I'm so excited. Yes. And I am too. Maria says, this is the most out of my comfort zone I've ever gone, and I'm so happy to be going. I know it will help me so much. Yes. See, and how did it feel, Maria, after you said yes? Like, after you said yes and you got your ticket, Like, think about like the, like the resistance that happens right before. And then we say yes. And it's like, oh my gosh, like things happen. And like I shared with you guys, we had so many women who bought their ticket and manifested their partners before coming to the event. And that's why I say, like, this is beyond me. The event has that, like, it's so beyond, like, there's just greater intelligence that's constantly responding to who we're being and what we're believing is possible. So Sarah says she's scared of today's challenge. Good, girlfriend. Good. I want you to be nervous. So remember, it's not, I want you to be nervous just because I know that in the nervousness, that means that you're going to have a breakthrough, So remember, it's not about waiting for the fear to clear to then do it. It's doing it to clear the fear. So you do it and then it clears the fear because you're like, wow, worst case scenario didn't happen, or it did and I'm still okay, And I was touching on something really important. It's okay. Sarah says yes. Good. Maria says when I got my ticket, I felt a sense of release and excitement. Like I already feel a huge shift in who I am, changing old stories and patterns. Yes. Okay. So that's what I was also talking about too, is when you say yes, you're saying yes to possibility. You're saying yes to the break. You're saying yes to confidence. You're saying yes to magnetism. You're saying yes to, okay, like I'm open to this unknown and this bringing and me cultivating this energy that's going to bring in so much for me. Sarah says, I want to change patterns. Yes. So what I was telling you guys earlier is we had multiple women attract partners who they're still with the moment after they bought the ticket, because Thursday night when they showed up, I said, hey, like I asked the question, I'm like, what happened for you guys? Like between getting the ticket and now, like I was really curious, and to hear their stories blew my mind. And it's just such a reminder of how when we're like, okay, like I'm just willing to step into the frequency, to tune into the openness and tune into the timeline where I give this to myself for me and for play and I start to hold that energy of possibility and trust and belief that things like the universe starts to respond to that. Right. So I thought that was so cool. And we'll ask this again when you guys come to the experience. Like you will hear like the coolest stories of like, yeah, I did this and then this happened, because you're entering into that timeline because by coming, you are there. You're saying, I believe that it's going to make a huge difference for me. And I believe that it's going to support me in creating what I want. So there is a higher level of belief of you being able to have what you want in your vision, rather than the fears and the playing small and the holding back. You see what I mean? So, and then the world responds to that in that moment, because we live in a quantum reality that's always responding to how we're thinking, how we're feeling, and who we're being, which is why when I say, okay, girl, like, and I get to know you and I'm like, okay, this is the challenge that I invite you into. It's going to invite you into a new beingness, which then will impact every single area of your life. What I want for you guys is more freedom. What I want for you is more confidence. What I want for you is magnetism, is intimacy, is closeness, is feeling at home in your body, right? Feeling at home in partnership, being able to express your authentic desires, right? Like it's so magical. So I cannot wait to meet you guys in person. And the code expires this Friday. So get your ticket now, celebrate with me when you have it. It should work. I checked it. It was working. It's half off and you get to bring a bestie for free. And it's in a beautiful location and we're going to create magic. We're going to create magic. We're going to be eating together. We're going to be laughing together. There's lots of, you're going to have your fresh journal. It's going to be one of the best experiences of your life that you're going to look back on and you're going to be like, I'm so proud of myself. You're going to be like, I'm so proud of you, Maria. I'm so proud of you, Sarah, like for doing that even when it was scary. And I feel that way so much when I look back on the investments or the changes or the where's I showed up into certain things like that I was like super unknown and scared about. Like, I'm so grateful for that version of me that was able to lean on this version of me. You see what I mean? So lean on that future self, lean on my faith that the beautiful dream life that you desires and the abundance. We had 4 women or more quit their jobs after the Brave Life experience because they realized how out of alignment they were living. They were at their job. And one of them had been up in a high, like at Disney high up for 13 years, right? How freaking cool. She was like, you know what? Like, this is no longer in alignment. So and we had so many different jobs where people were like, I realized like this environment, it doesn't match this authentic new version of me. So now her whole life's changed for the better, right? Like, so yes, it charged me all of it, even though I used the code. Weird. Okay, Sarah, I'll support you with that. We'll go back in customer service and I'll support you with that. So get your ticket. I'm supporting you guys. Live in alignment. You've got this. I'm so proud of you guys. Do your challenge today. And remember to go into the Facebook group and to post that you did your challenge. And I cannot wait to see you in person, to help you have a breakthrough, to come more into alignment, to feel on fire, and to be magnetic and to attract the relationship of your dreams. Okay? So you have an amazing day and I will see you later. Remember to go in the Facebook group. Mwah!